And we're back. This is Tyler.
And this is Rita.
And here we go. This is a wild ride.
This is a wild ride. Oh my god, young. Okay.
It's been a long time.
We just dropped a couple really old episodes today.
Yeah, check them out. You probably already checked them out. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, you probably listened to these in order. So
we've been gone for a while.
Yeah. I don't even know why exactly.
I don't even know when we ended, truthfully. Like, I don't know the time frame.
Me neither.
But we're back. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I wouldn't say we're better than ever, but we're back, and we're chugging along.
Yeah.
What's our updates?
I don't even know where
I'm currently
we left
jobless. Seems to be a common theme.
Yeah.
I have a concussion.
A real bad one
that... Oh gosh. If you notice in the previous episodes, Rachel makes sound effects as we go over bumps.
But the thing is, right there, I obviously did it intentionally.
Yeah.
But usually, I just do those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a tick.
Yeah, it's a little silly.
Yeah.
And we heard it on the last episode, so go back and check that out, because that was a wild experience to hear. Is what it sounded like, and really it was us driving over a bump.
Yeah.
But that's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm concussed right now. We're just trying to make it through. I'm really focusing on myself. And honestly, I've realized it was the biggest blessing, and it needed to happen. And it sucks, like, the pain and...
Well, because you needed to slow down.
Yeah. And I was forced to.
Yeah.
In a way. Like, I was trying so hard to not, even within the concussion. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously prior I was trying not to, but when I had the concussion, I was trying to underplay it more, or, like,
trying to push through it.
And tell myself I was okay. In addition to, like, even just, like, the first week, I was like, oh, I can go back to work next week.
Yeah.
And, like, even still today, I have 2 weeks left, and it's going to be hard to go back to work. And I don't know, like, how feasible it actually is yet, which is scary and frightening, and it's just, like, the unknown.
Do you think you could start with, like, half days or something?
Yeah, I think that's what for sure will have to happen.
Yeah.
There's just different aspects of it, and, like, nannying is different than the main preschool job, in addition to coaching and, like, working at Lifetime teaching kids how to swim. Like, swimming might not be the best one right now, because someone could drown, and I wouldn't be... I don't know what's good or not good at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, like... I'm just taking it day by day at this point.
Yeah, but like, you don't need to worry about how it's going to actually go quite yet.
Yeah. Just gotta keep going.
That's future problem.
Exactly. And you have been living the business admin life. What did we call it?
Corporate girly.
Yeah. Corporate girly.
Kind of, yeah.
I was going to say boss babe.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
We were doing this thing where we had to, I was coming up with questions to ask them to do, like, a get to know me thing or whatever. And I was like, oh, like, it'd be kind of fun to do, like, what's your favorite dinosaur? But then I remembered, like, not everyone has a favorite dinosaur. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Paraphilophysis.
Oh, that's fun. Mine's a Triceratops. And mine's a Triceratops because of The Land Before Time. You're good. Go.
Thank you.
In retrospect, like, I should be driving.
Yeah.
Okay. But mine's from The Land Before Time because there was Sarah, and, like, people would probably call her, like, bossy and, like, whatever, but I loved her because she said exactly what she was thinking. She was a leader. She was just all the things that, like, I want to be. And
you are?
Yeah.
And so, like, you correlate most with...
Yeah. Like, I just feel like Triceratops really speaks to me. And it's cool. Like, I like that they're a plant eater, omnivore, you know?
Do you know who speaks to me from Land Before Time?
Who?
And I can't... Ducky.
Oh,
Ducky.
yeah.
If you know, you know.
You're
Ducky.
totally a ducky.
I am a ducky.
Yeah.
That's weird. So do we just like our favorite character or whatever is it because it correlates to what we are, what we want to be?
I mean, I think of like all my favorite stuff and like, yeah, because there's like either
there's
pieces of me in it, or there's like something I want from it, or like a dream, or like whatever.
Yeah, and I even think of like to guy actors or things like that. The reason like I like enjoy them is because I'd want them.
Yeah. Like they have a personality trait that like you would like, or
and vice versa with girls. Like Sydney Sweeney right now, like she has my heart. Like yeah.
Have you seen her? She's like bulked up for that like boxing movie, and she is like
fit.
Like
what boxing movie?
It hasn't come out yet, but she's doing some like I don't know.
Did you see that Verity is coming out? And I know you're not
hated that book.
Okay.
I hated it. I hated it.
I know there's lots of mixed reviews.
It just made me like so uncomfortable to be in someone's mind that was like doing such horrible things. Like I just like that's not something I'm gonna pick up and read because I just like I don't enjoy that.
You couldn't like disassociate.
Yeah.
From it. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty good at doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
because like a child called It, you like that book too, right?
Yeah. Like I love, and that's why I like the analyzing and psychology ones, because I like going into other people's shoes to know how they feel or why they are thinking that way. So it makes sense why we have different opinions on that. But moral of the story is they're coming out with a movie on it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be a crazy, wild adventure watching that. But
Yeah. I wonder if it'll be different for me watching it rather than reading it.
Potentially, but do you like thrillers or like those type of movies to begin with? Like I love those type of movies, so I know I'm gonna like it, even if I didn't read this book.
I don't know if I like them or not. I can't really decide. Because like sometimes I enjoy them because like there's like interesting plot points and stuff, but it does give me like a lot of anxiety, and like I don't obviously like that feeling.
When we talked about the show Bear, you were like, it's really good, but it gives me so much anxiety.
Yes.
Or like I see how you, like when I watch it, I see it for you, how that happens, but like it's just different. Like
that's like the Bear, or is it just called Bear?
I think it's called Bear.
Bear. It gives like it's not a show that I like relaxingly watch. Like I'm anxious as I'm watching it, and I'm not just like chilling.
And that's where you and I are so different when it comes to watching things. And I think that has a lot to do with like my ADHD. Like I don't just like relax and watch something.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna watch something, it's kind of has to be intentional, and then it has to get a hook where I'm gonna want to watch it, which is mostly thriller and psychology.
Yeah.
Like those type.
So what is, like, do you have a favorite show?
Right now?
Do you have a favorite show? Like, all-time favorite show?
I mean, when people ask me that, like, I just say ones that I've binge-watched in the past.
Okay.
Which is, like, Grey's Anatomy and Gossip Girl and, like, Pretty Little Liars. Like, that's probably one of my favorites because there's a lot of, like, thrilling, secretive, like, but still, like, love story, romantic.
Yeah.
So probably Pretty Little Liars, but, like,
Slugbug.
Ugh. I don't know. It feels like such a lame answer because I know there's so many, like, good shows out.
I don't think it's a lame answer.
I just don't watch shows.
Yeah. That's fair.
So that's hard.
Like, when people ask me what my favorite movie is, I don't have a real answer for that. I don't have a favorite movie.
Yeah. I don't think I do yet either.
But my favorite show is Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
Of course.
And that's your, like, comfort show, too.
Oh, 100%.
I think most of the time, like, our favorite shows end up being, like, our comfort show.
Yeah.
Because even, I wouldn't say Pretty Little Liars, but, like, Grey's Anatomy or Gossip Girl, like, those are shows I'll just throw on if I'm looking for background.
Yeah.
The other thing with, like, watching TV, like, you and I'm definitely, like, I'm a sports person. And, like, I'm gonna turn on sports versus a show where you're opposite.
Yeah. Like, when my boyfriend's watching sports, I read.
Yeah. Where, like, to me, that's fun background. Or, like, just relaxing. So, anyway, back to the podcast.
Well, that wasn't the podcast?
That was the podcast.
Okay.
Back to the theme of our podcast.
What was our theme?
Cars.
Oh, fudge.
Cars.
Oh, I have a new car story.
Yeah. So if you listen to the previous podcast, it's called, like, This Episode Got Lost en Route.
That's 2 episodes.
2 episodes ago. Listen to that one and then come back here to, like, this segment.
Yeah. So, an update on my car. So, this is going to sound familiar because it's happened before. I was driving down the interstate and all of a sudden all my lights flashed on and it said low power mode, and then, like, my accelerator didn't work at all. I was just, like, slowing down. Okay? So this happened again. Get over to the side of the road and I was like, oh, I just got a new engine. Like, I have it's a used engine, but it's, like, new for my car. And it was a lot of money. And I pull over and I'm like, it's happening again. So I, like, call a tow company and this guy tells me he's going to be there in half an hour. And it's, like, the coldest day of the winter so far. It was, like, negative, like, 30, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like, early. Yeah, because it was early in the morning, too. It was, like, before 7 a.m. And, so he comes, like, an hour later, and he, like, gets me into his truck, which is freezing cold. And my car's been running. I just can't, like, do anything with it. So I've been sitting in the warm in my car, and then I get in his car, or his truck, and it's really, really cold. And he's back there trying to get my car up onto, like, the ramp thingy, and he is struggling. He's, like, FaceTiming people. He's struggling back there, and I was like, wow, I guess I'm just gonna die here. Which was dramatic, but it felt true. That's what my body told me, you know?
Yeah.
And then he finally gets my car up there, and it was really bad. Like, he probably almost pulled off my bumper, and my car wasn't, like, tied down or anything, so that was super unsafe. But it was fine, because we only drove max 35 miles per hour down the interstate,
Nice.
which is 70 miles per hour speed limit.
Pretty illegal, too.
Yeah. So that was fun. And then he would slam on his steering wheel and was, like, swearing and was, like, super mad about his car.
Extreme road rage.
Is extreme. But then, like, the creepiest part is he would just, like, calmly turn to me and go, I'm sorry, ma'am. And then turn back and continue.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel like I was in a serial killer's pickup truck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's, like, probably a fine person.
But
like,
his actions weren't
anger,
leading up to.
Yeah, like, anger issues, obviously. And, at one point he, like, pulled over and he's like, I'm gonna turn it off and turn it back on again, like you do with a computer. And I was like, oh my god, if he turns off this truck, like, there's no way it's turning back on.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily it did, but then we were only going, like, 10, 15 miles per hour.
Did you have heat during this whole time?
No. And I was like, yeah, the heat's not working. And he goes, yeah, it is. And I was like...
As you're shivering?
I was like, no, it's not. I even put my hand up to, like, the vent. Because I was like, maybe it's, like, when you first turn it on and, like, it feels cold on your face. But, like, the warm air, it's coming. Like, you can feel it. No. But he said, oh, it's working. I was like, no, it's definitely not. Like, why are you... What is it called when people... Gaslighting. He was gaslighting me.
Yeah.
That the heat was working. It wasn't. And whatever. And he got there and he tried to charge me, like, a bunch of money. And I was like, no. And he was like, what do you mean no? And I was like, I'm not paying that for this tow ride. Like,
it was scary.
It was really scary. And also it was way more than, like, the tow should have been for how long it was. And whatever. I got him to go a little bit lower on the price. It was still higher than it should have been. But I was like,
get me out of here.
I'm done. Get me out of here. And then it ended up just being my gas pedal. And I got a new gas pedal.
Good.
I mean, it was still, like, $600, but...
It's better than a new car price.
And, yeah.
So that's great.
Yep. So that was fun. That was my new car story.
Yeah. So my car still got the old car. I always want a new car. But I was told I will not be getting a new car anytime soon. Yeah. So I have learned to accept that. And I was like, well, I'm making this car a car that I want to have then. Basically. But I was working and someone backed into my car. And, like, when they told me, I was like, oh, okay, like, whatever. Like, I don't really care. I literally, like, the reaction I had was probably not good. Like, I probably should have been a little more concerned.
Yeah.
But I just don't care. Like we said, I don't care about my car.
And it was also,
cars.
like, obviously the person felt bad about it.
And
like, you weren't trying to make them feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, accidents happen.
And I was like, I run in. I tried to make her feel better. And I don't know if it did. Probably made me look worse. But
she's probably like, oh, dear.
So, yeah. So, anyway, she ran in. And, like, there's a small little bump and... Dent, thank you. And the light is like, the light shield is broken or something. Like, again, my car works fine, I can drive it. I don't really care what it looks like, it's a car.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like my clothes or anything. Like, we all have our priorities. And then they're like, well, you gotta go get a quote on it and see how much it's gonna cost. And I'm like, I don't really care, but whatever. So we go through all this process. And then they're like, well, we'll just send you the money. Like, the insurance company will just send us the money if we don't want to get it fixed. And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like $2,000 we got. And, like, my car's hardly worth that. And at first when I heard that I was getting money, I was like, great, we can sell it. We can use that money, we can sell it. And everyone's like, no, Taylor.
They're like, good try, but
yeah, no. So we got new tires because another thing that happened.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how this happened, but I was just driving. And so first of all, I go to a tournament and I'm in the parking lot getting ready to go. It's freezing outside and the car next to me taps on my window, and it's a guy. Like, he got out, taps on the window, and I was very nervous.
Yeah.
I was like,
men are scary.
So I, like, rolled on my window. And he was smiling. I felt a little better. And he's like, your tire's really low. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know. And I was like, no, I didn't know that. I just didn't know what to do.
I love that reaction. Like, oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I know that. Like, my light's been on for a while, but I didn't really know I was supposed to do something about it.
Yeah, the lights are a warning.
Yeah.
Slug bug.
And then...
This is a good episode. Got you twice.
You did. So then I call my dad, obviously, and he's like, you gotta go to the nearest place. I was like, okay. Go to this gas station. Never done this air filling up because Rachel never taught me yet.
Oh, yeah.
Like you were supposed to. Like you said you would.
Yeah.
And so I'm there basically like FaceTiming my dad. And this was in the middle of coldness too, like negatives. And I'm trying to learn how to check my tire pressure. Because I'm scared I'm going to like drive and the tire's going to fly off. I don't really know what can happen. I was just very scared. And then it wasn't working. And some guy drove by and I saw him. So I was sitting parked at the gas station and this other guy like parked and was walking in, and I saw him like basically, you know how someone like up downs you and you can see that he like up down the car and stared at the tire. And I was like, I saw it happen. She's
got issues.
And I was like, do you know how to fill a flat tire? And I said, no, I didn't say that. I said, does it look flat to you? As he was like staring at it, he goes, yeah. And I was like, could you help me? And he took care of me. He took care of me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
He had me pull around. He did both tires. I was like, thank you. Thank you. This is what I needed.
Yes.
Oh,
Perfect.
we love that man. And I didn't know, like, how to feel. I was like, am I supposed to tip him? Am I supposed to... I would just say, thank you.
Yeah.
It was real good.
Yeah.
Good experience I needed.
Yeah.
And then we just kept going. The light was still on, but, like, I knew they were good for a little bit. Didn't know how long a little bit was. Driving into work again. And this guy on this highway is just honking at me. And I'm like, just get out of my way. Like, I'm in the lane. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong. And he's, like, right next to me. And he's, like, not, like, he's staying right next to me. Like, right next to me. And I didn't want to look over. I'm like, go away.
Yeah.
Screw you. Stop honking at me.
Again, men are scary.
And finally, I looked over. And he's like, your tire, like, he's pointing at the tire I know he was pointing at, and he's like this and that, rolling his window down, pointing, trying to help me. Like, he wasn't mad. And
no, he was just like very concerned for your safety.
And I still didn't understand what was happening, and I just gave him a thumbs up and rolled on and kept going. And then I was like, oh shit, that's about my tire. So then I got to work, took a picture of the tire, and my dad's like, yeah, you gotta fill that up. But I didn't have time to fill this up.
Nope, not you.
Not me.
Not
oh
you.
gosh,
not
that scared
you.
me. Whew.
Somebody honked at us. Or they honked at somebody. It wasn't us. The light's still red.
So I just didn't. Yeah, I didn't have urgency. I didn't feel the urgency with that. And as I'm driving, I feel a little lopsided.
Yeah.
And a little, like, I really can feel the lopsidedness and maybe a little bumpy, and then I'm starting to get a little panicky.
Yeah.
And I drive up, and Rita and I are hanging out, and I'm like, does it look flat to you?
It was for my birthday.
Oh, yeah, I was supposed to drive.
Yeah, and you're like, can we actually, like, take your car? I was like, yeah.
I think we have to.
I was like, we definitely have to if we want to make it.
Like, if you were to look at my car, it shouldn't have been driving, as that guy was trying to tell me.
Yeah.
But what was I supposed to do? I needed to get places.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was supposed to do.
I don't know.
Probably fill it.
I mean, yeah.
But it was losing so fast. Anyway, with my $2,000, I had to get new tires.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I did convince my financial advisor to let me get auto start with that as well, so that I could stay warm.
Dad.
That's my dad.
It's her dad. Okay.
But he really only financially advises some things, which in reality he should do all my things. Or someone should do all my things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the update on my car story. So I realized and I have accepted now that this will be my car for a while. A long
Until
while.
it literally falls apart.
Yeah. So I got this little cute little penguin, and he swings off my mirror. And I know it's illegal to hang things from your mirror, but I don't really care because he's cute, and he swings back and forth as you drive. And if you like wiggle your car, he'll swing.
There's no stop sign.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's about what I got for my cars.
My car, when you said something about your dad, it reminded me. So my parents were like on vacation, like somewhere warm, and I tried to call my dad, and I left him a message letting him know what was going on with my car, and he never responded back. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I guess he's on vacation, so he doesn't want to deal with this. But it kind of hurt, you know? Mm-hmm. And then once I had everything figured out, I called him again, and my mom picks up my dad's phone, and I go, you're not my dad? And she goes, yeah, but when you call us when we're on vacation, like, we get panicky. And I was like, don't say we, say you, because I left dad a message, like, a week ago, and he still hasn't gotten back to me. And then she yells at my brother, who has a broken leg, to go get my dad. And I was like, that's weird, but he limped out and got my dad. And
his broken leg.
And my dad comes back in, and they're like on speakerphone, and she goes, she called you and you didn't like answer, like she's having car problems, whatever. And my dad's like, she didn't call me. I was like, yeah, I did. I left a message. And he goes, no, she didn't. And my mom goes, yeah, she did. You have a little red dot next to your voicemail right there. And he goes, oh.
Also, the panicky, who does that remind you of?
Myself?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so I told him everything that was going on, and everything had actually been solved at that point, so it was fine. It was just a little update.
Yeah, you're just letting him know that you were a big girl and you figured it out.
Yeah, and I felt better because it was like totally a mistake. It wasn't because he hated me, which was a silly thought anyway, because he's my dad. But you know,
it happens. Those thoughts intrusive.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, we're about home, so do we have anything else to leave them with? Probably like make sure to fill your tires, especially if the light is on.
Yeah.
Oh, and if someone's honking at you, or you think someone's honking at you, it might not be for the bad. Like, let's find the good in people.
There should really be like two sides of your horn, like an angry horn and a helpful horn.
Yeah. And I do feel like as society we've kind of created that, like the long horn is like, I'm angry.
Yeah.
Or like a little toot toot.
Yeah.
But like also you just never know someone's personality.
Yeah.
And that's what's hard. I just hate the horn.
Yeah.
And Rachel knows that, and she'll honk it for me. and I don't like that.
I have found the power of the horn to be really empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what they're going through, and I do so much shit. I don't want people honking their horn at me.
Well, if
like,
someone,
I'm just trying to drive, bro.
If someone honks their horn at me, I go, that's your problem.
Exactly.
You know?
So
like,
why should I honk my horn at them?
Well, I don't know. I just, like I said, I find it empowering.
Okay.
I am taking back
women empowerment or horn.
Yeah.
Fair. Yep. So any other lasting words?
I
said my 2 cents.
I don't know. I wouldn't take any advice on us.
Yeah.
From
fair.
us from cars, to be honest. So.
But the best news is we're back. So
We're back.
we'll see you another time.
Yeah.
Another time.
Yeah.
That's a wild ride. I don't remember our thing. We did have a fun slogan.
Oh, yeah. We had to find that.
Okay. Do I honk even though there's people right here? And
We'll pull up into the house and then
Okay.
honk so they think we're like honking at the house.
Ooh. There's little bumps there. And like right now my little hanging...
Are you sure he's a penguin?
No, I'm not too sure.
I don't think he's a penguin.
He's got a beak and...
Yeah,
no
he's
wings.
a bird. Those are wings. That's his wings.
Well, I think he's a penguin.
Okay, well, I think you're wrong. Are you gonna honk now? Bye.
See ya.